You know that moment when the person who sees you most clearly also triggers you the deepest? When safe suddenly feels sharp. Most twin flame content says love completes you. Here's the truth. It reveals you. I'm going to show you why your soulmate functions as both angel and demon, decode the mirror mechanics happening under every trigger, and give you one practice that ends the push-pull cycle. There's a pattern that changes everything once you see it. Let's start with what just happened in your body. Picture this. You're having a good day. Your partner texts something neutral, maybe running late or need some space tonight, and suddenly your chest tightens. Your mind starts spinning stories. Within 90 seconds, you've gone from fine to convinced. It means something about your worth. You want to send 3 texts, or you want to disappear. That split-second flip from safe to activated, that's not dysfunction. That's the sacred mirror turning on. And you're about to understand exactly what it's showing you. Okay, so here's the thing. A twin flame or soulmate is an amplifier and a mirror, not a rescuer. They don't arrive to complete you, they arrive to reflect you, your radiance and your repressed material, so you can become more whole. When the mirror is true, it doesn't flatter. It clarifies. You're not broken for feeling this intensity. Most people think sacred connection should feel peaceful, but real intimacy does something braver. It reveals what you've been carrying in the basement. That's why the safest person can feel like the sharpest lens. They're not attacking you. They're activating material that was already there, waiting for enough safety to finally surface. Let me show you how the mirroring mechanics work in 2 parts. First, 2 mechanisms: projection and idealization. Projection means you unconsciously place denied traits, neediness, anger, ambition, tenderness, onto them. If you haven't made peace with your own power, their confidence reads as arrogance. If you repress vulnerability, their tears feel manipulative. Idealization is the flip side. You put them on a pedestal because you've outsourced your golden qualities, courage, intuition, creativity, to their image. The glow you feel? That's your own light, reflected back. Next, 2 patterns: shadow activation and the trigger loop. The parts you've kept hidden, your fear, shame, superiority, or hunger for closeness, wake up under the heat of intimacy. Jung called this the shadow. The relationship pulls it to the surface. This creates the trigger loop, and it runs in 4 beats. 1. Admiration. They see me like no one else. 2. Threat. If they really see me, they'll leave. 3. Defense. You critique, control, withdraw, or overperform. 4. Distance, then longing, then trying to reconnect without addressing the wound, which restarts the loop. That loop isn't random drama. It's a map. Pause here. Which pattern just made your chest tighten? That's your doorway. Let me show you what this looks like when you catch it early. Last week, a client told me, every time he gets quiet, I spiral, I accuse, he retreats, then I panic harder. When we tracked it somatically, she felt a 5-year-old part fearing abandonment. Next time the silence hit, instead of attacking, she said, "A part of me is scared. It wants reassurance. I'm breathing before I react." The fight dissolved into data. He said, "Thank you for telling me what you need instead of what I did wrong." That's the mirror used well, not blame, but information. She didn't eliminate the trigger. She changed her relationship to it. And that's what you're learning to do here. Why does the intensity feel fated? 2 reasons usually overlap. There's recognition. Something in your nervous system says, I know you, but familiarity isn't always safety. It's often an echo of early attachment templates. If closeness once meant over-responsibility, engulfment gets confused with love. If distance once meant safety, emotional availability feels suspicious. So the chemistry is real, but it's also wired to your past. Now, we need to distinguish sacred mirror from toxic harm. A sacred mirror reveals your patterns without punishing your personhood. Conflict happens, but there is care, consent, and the possibility of repair. You might feel pressure, but not degradation. If you're being belittled, coerced, or chronically unsafe, that's damage, not a divine assignment. The mirror can be intense and still respect your humanity. Let's talk about the angel view. The angel isn't a savior. It's the quality of presence that holds you while you meet yourself. It tells the truth without needing to be right. It values repair over perfection. It says, I'm still here, not to keep you small, but to help you grow taller in your own spine. Being loved while flawed dissolves layers of shame that self-improvement can't touch. Now, the demon view. The demon isn't malicious. It's pressure. It refuses to let repression continue. It makes hiding expensive. When you want to shut down, it draws heat to your chest. When you try to perform, it exposes the tremor in your voice. It's the part of love that says, no more pretending. That hurts, not because it's cruel, but because false selves crack loudly. So here's what actually happens when the mirror is real. Your partner amplifies your highest signal and your disowned signal. Their steadiness spotlights how you abandon yourself. Their directness exposes your people-pleasing. Their tenderness reveals your armored heart. You may call this their behavior, but it's your own material lighting up under contact. There's a reason this isn't gentle. Intimacy compresses time. Patterns you would meet over 5 years show up in 5 weeks. It's efficient, not punitive. And the only sustainable way to work with it is to stop asking the mirror to change and start asking, what is this showing me about me? That's the hinge between suffering and growth. But here's where it gets interesting. What you call their behavior is usually your unintegrated pattern calling for you. Their late reply touches the part of you that equates waiting with worthlessness. Their directness pokes the part that learned to survive by being agreeable. Their need for space presses on the part that only felt safe when fused. Everything changes when you treat the flare as a message instead of a verdict. Ask, what age is this feeling? If it's ancient, you're not in a conversation with your partner, you're in a conversation with your past. Naming that out loud rewires the moment. A part of me is 5 and terrified right now. Suddenly you're both looking at the same pattern, not at each other as enemies. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Once you stop fighting the mirror, you gain access to the angelic function of the connection. Your nervous system begins to regulate inside the same space that used to overwhelm you. Shame softens because it's finally seen and held. Identity widens because the traits you disowned come home. So before we go deeper into the shadow work hidden inside love, hold this frame. The point isn't to prove who's right, it's to discover what's real. The mirror isn't here to punish. It's here to return you to yourself. And the moment you accept that assignment, the entire relationship, inside you and between you, starts to move differently. Now we enter the part most people avoid, the demon function. Not evil, exacting. The shadow's job is to surface denied traits, unmet needs, and the protective personas that kept you safe before intimacy. When love arrives, those protectors get loud because their mission is to prevent you from ever feeling the old pain again. So they fight, flee, freeze, or fawn. Here's what typically shows up: the 5 core patterns. Abandonment versus engulfment. One part fears being left, the other fears being swallowed. Control versus chaos. One part organizes everything to avoid surprises, the other creates mess to feel free. Protest versus withdrawal. One part escalates for contact, the other disappears for air. Superior versus inferior. One part postures above feelings, the other collapses under them. Performer versus hidden. One part works for approval, the other hides to avoid judgment. These aren't personality flaws, they're survival strategies. Quick check-in. Notice what's coming up for you right now. Is your chest tight? Jaw clenched? A voice saying, "But my partner really is the problem"? That's data. Your nervous system is showing you which pattern is yours. Stay with me. This is building toward that breakthrough pattern I mentioned at the start. The projection map helps you decode this fast. What you resent is often what you repress. If you resent their neediness, check the part in you that's desperate for support. If you resent their boundaries, check the part in you that's terrified to disappoint. And what you idolize is what you outsource. If you idolize their courage, ask where yours is hiding. If you idolize their groundedness, ask where you abandoned your body. The mirror is precise like that. Your body tells the truth before your mouth does. Somatic tells are simple, but they're gold. Tightening in the throat. A part fears saying the truth. Heat in the chest. A part wants to fight for dignity. A sudden shutdown, like the room goes dim. A part just pulled the breaker to avoid overwhelm. Notice the impulse. Fix, flee, or fight. The urge is data, not destiny. Let me show you what this looks like when it works. A client was called out by her partner for going silent mid-argument. She felt exposed and the heat rose. Instead of launching a counterattack, she breathed and said, "A part of me is scared if I speak, I'll break something important." That one sentence changed the room. He softened. She stayed. And what could have been a spiral became information. Conflict turned to data. She didn't suddenly become perfect at communication. She just interrupted the old pattern once. That's all it takes to start rewiring. One interruption creates a new neural pathway. 10 interruptions make it a possibility. 100 make it a default. So how do you work with the demon function individually? Use 3 tools. First, trigger journaling. Write the event in 2 columns. What happened outside, what got stirred inside. Ask, what did I make this mean about me? Second, inner child dialogue. Close your eyes, picture the younger part who learned this strategy and ask, what do you need right now? Third, parts language. Speak in a part of me, not I am. It creates space for choice. For couples, you need simple structures. Repair scripts. When X happened, the story I told myself was Y, and the need underneath is Z. Timeouts. Agree on a word that pauses the fight before you lose each other, and set a return time. Reflective listening. One speaks, one mirrors, then switch. Repair commitment. Not perfection, but a reliable return. The system learns safety through repetition, not promises. Let's get concrete. The demon protocol in motion. A text goes unanswered. Your body tightens, Heat climbs, and the story starts. I'm being ignored. I don't matter. Pause. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the temperature in your palms. Scan from your jaw to your belly. Name what's happening. My chest is hot, my jaw is tight. Name the part. A part of me is 5 and afraid of being forgotten. It wants reassurance. Normalize. Of course it feels this way. Waiting used to mean danger. Choose. I'll drink water, breathe for 2 minutes, and send a clear, honest message. That's shadow alchemy. You didn't eliminate the 5-year-old part. You just stopped letting it drive. Here's why this matters. Until you can own the part that feels abandoned, every late reply will be proof of your unworthiness. Until you can own the part that fears engulfment, every bid for closeness will feel like a trap. The demon function forces these parts into the light so you can make new moves. It's not here to punish you. It's here to return your power. Now, a subtle distinction. Self-confrontation isn't self-blame. You're not wrong for having a wound. You're responsible for how you handle it. When you stop outsourcing your regulation to your partner's next sentence, you start stepping into adult love. That's the upgrade. From reactive child parts running the room to an integrated self leading the conversation. There's a reason this function often feels like pressure. Repression used to be cheap. In sacred connection, it gets expensive. The cost is distance, distortion, and the slow death of aliveness. The demon turns up the price on pretending until honesty becomes the easier option. That's mercy wearing teeth. One more practical loop. If you find yourself nagging, rescuing, diagnosing, or withdrawing, ask 3 questions. What am I avoiding feeling? What am I trying to control? What am I asking them to do so I don't have to do it for myself? Your answers point to the exact inner door you need to open next. And remember, the demon function is seasonal. Early on, it's loud because there's a backlog. With practice, the spikes flatten. Trigger becomes signal. Signal becomes conversation. Conversation becomes intimacy. You haven't eliminated the shadow. You've integrated it enough that it doesn't hijack the steering wheel. Once you stop arguing with the reflection and start working with the data, the system quiets. Safety grows where panic lived. And that's when the angel function can finally do its job. Here's what's actually happening. The demon and angel are the same force. The demon pressure that won't let you hide? That's the angel refusing to let you stay small. The angel steadiness that helps you regulate? That's the demon making repression too expensive to maintain. They're not opposites. They're phases of the same sacred mechanism. Pressure reveals. Presence integrates. Together, they return you to yourself. Think of the angel function as nervous system medicine plus a higher blueprint for love. Its job is simple and profound. Help both bodies feel safe enough to tell the truth, long enough for new patterns to form. Here's what that looks like in practice. Secure-based behaviors show up first. Consistency over intensity. You keep agreements or renegotiate before they break. You tell the truth early instead of later. You value repair over perfection, so small ruptures become training reps instead of proof that love is failing. The message beneath every action is, we can come back. That's not just nice. It rewires attachment. Being loved while flawed dissolves shame armor. When you reveal a messy feeling and the connection holds, the nervous system learns, I can be real and still belong. Over time, the reflex to hide softens because hiding isn't required for survival anymore. Co-regulation is the angel's favorite tool. Breath, tone, and pacing do the heavy lifting. When you slow your voice, their shoulders drop. That's not metaphor. Their vagus nerve is tracking your vocal frequency. Slow your exhale and speak 20% slower. Their amygdala hears safety. Keep your face soft and your shoulders down. Their body mirrors you. Use simple scripts. I'm here. I can hear you. We'll take this slow. That's not performance. It's leadership by regulation. Let me show you a micro story. A couple hit the same snag. She flooded when he got quiet. He froze when she escalated. They practiced one shift. When he noticed freeze coming, he said, "I feel my body shutting down. I'm setting a 10-minute timer to breathe, then I'm back." She practiced receiving. "Okay, I can wait 10 and hold my own hand." Before the timer, she would have sent 12 texts and spiraled. He would have disappeared for 2 days. This time, 10 minutes later, they were back at the table with breath in their chests. Not perfect, but possible. New behavior became available because safety did. That's the angel and demon working together. Pressure created the crisis. Presence created the repair. The angel function also widens identity. Secure love reflects hidden strengths back into ownership. You stop outsourcing courage to the partner you idolized and start risking honest asks. You stop outsourcing tenderness to the partner you resented and start letting yourself need. Values alignment grows from this. You notice that when you both choose truth over comfort, the relationship stops being a tug-of-war and starts feeling like a practice. Higher self-resonance sounds lofty, but it's practical. When regulation and truth stack up, purpose wakes up. You remember why you're together beyond soothing childhood ghosts to serve something larger than the loop. Maybe that's raising a kid with clarity. Maybe it's building a business that doesn't burn people out. Maybe it's becoming the kind of elders who model sober love. Service orients the connection toward contribution rather than consumption, which takes pressure off the bond and increases meaning. But here's a necessary distinction. Fantasy Rescue says, "Love will save me from my work." Real devotion says, "Love will stand beside me while I do my work." The angel doesn't breed dependency, it breeds capacity. You feel more yourself with them, not less. Your boundaries get cleaner. Your yes means yes. Your no stays loving. That's empowerment, not entanglement. This is where demon and angel become one practice. The pressure to be real, that's demon clarity, meets the safety to be seen. That's angel compassion. The heat that activates your wounds meets the steadiness that holds you while you heal. You stop trying to have one without the other. You stop wishing the mirror would only reflect your beauty. You start trusting that both light and shadow are making you whole. Integration is the point. Light without shadow floats. Shadow without light burns. Together, they build. The demon is the angel. The angel is the demon. And now that you see that, the work becomes weaving them on purpose into a practice you can repeat when things get real. Here's the principle that holds the whole paradox together. Don't collapse into fusion or flight. Stand in yourself while staying in connection. That sounds poetic until it's 11 p.m. Your phone is silent and your chest feels like a drum. So let's turn it into a clear, repeatable practice you can run under pressure. I call it N3C. Notice, name, Normalize. Choose. It's simple enough to remember mid-trigger and strong enough to change the trajectory of the moment. This is the angel and demon unified. Noticing is the demon's clarity, normalizing is the angel's compassion, and choosing is both working together. Step 1. Notice. Catch the earliest body cues and the storyline trying to take over. Feel your feet on the floor. Scan from the inside out. Jaw tight, eyes darting, chest hot, shoulders up. Identify the first sentence your mind is selling, like "I'm being abandoned" or "I'm about to be controlled," then pause before action. This micro-pause is the difference between compulsion and choice. Step 2. Name. Use parts language to create space. A part of me is scared. It wants reassurance. A part of me feels crowded. It wants room. Own your projection out loud if you can. I'm noticing I'm making your silence mean I don't matter. When you name the part and the need, you stop being possessed by it. You become the one who's listening to it. Step 3. Normalize. Soothe your nervous system and remember the human context. Before you speak, take one breath twice as long as your inhale. Of course, a part of me tightens here. Waiting used to mean danger. Of course, a part of me wants to flee. Conflict used to be explosive. Put a hand on your sternum or the back of your neck. Remind yourself, both of you are human, not enemies. This interrupts shame, which is gasoline on every fire. Step 4. Choose. Make one aligned move, either a clean boundary or a bid for closeness. Keep it small and repeatable. I'm going to take 10 minutes and then text you what I'm actually asking for. Or, I'm feeling flooded. I'm going to step outside and will be back in 15. Or, I want connection and clarity. Can we schedule 20 minutes tomorrow to talk about this? Choice turns the demon's heat into the angel's structure. Now, make this a couple practice so the system gets better together. Try a weekly mirror meeting. Keep it simple, 20 to 30 minutes, same day and time if possible. Start by sitting across from each other, feet planted, 1 minute of eye contact before words. Then 4 beats. 1. Wins. Name one moment you handled better this week. 2. Triggers. Name one moment that hooked you and what it showed you about you. 3. 1 repair. Choose a small repair you can make now or schedule this week. 4. 1 appreciation. Name something true and specific about how they showed up. Don't turn this into a summit. Short, honest, consistent. This ritual trains both the demon, truth-telling, and the angel, safe container, at once. Use a basic repair script when things get hot. When X happened, the story I told myself was Y, and the need under that story is Z. Then swap. Reflective listening keeps the channel clean. What I hear is pause. Ask, is there anything I missed? That sentence alone prevents so many avoidable spirals. Timeouts are essential, not avoidance. Agree on a pause word and a return time. I feel myself shutting down. I'm calling a pause for 15 and will be back at 7:45. Follow through. Reliability is regulation. If you miss the time, send a quick time-stamped message. Still with you. Need 10 more. Back at 7:55. You're training the bond to expect return, not abandonment. That's the angel building trust through the demon's honesty about limits. Let's draw the red flags clearly, because spiritual language can mask old patterns. Obsession, spiral, You're checking their location, looping on old texts, divining meanings from crumbs. That's not sacred mirroring, that's anxiety running the show. Pull back, reset with space, and call a friend or therapist before contacting them. Spiritual bypass. You're lecturing about alignment, frequency, or lessons to avoid feeling grief, fear, or anger. Example, you're just not vibrating at my level. Instead of, I'm hurt and scared, come back to the body and name the real thing. Weaponized spirituality. You're using words like mirror, lesson, or trigger to shame or control. Example, you're triggered because you haven't done your shadow work, instead of taking responsibility for your behavior. Stop, apologize, and return to your side of the street. If any of these patterns are running consistently, the demon has overtaken the angel. Pause the relationship work and focus on individual grounding first. One more tool you can run in real time. When you want to fuse or flee, say this to your partner: I'm staying with me and staying with you. A part of me wants to collapse or run. I'm going to breathe for 60 seconds, and then I'll tell you the need underneath. 60 seconds changes the room. After the minute, deliver one sentence. The need underneath is reassurance, or the need underneath is space with a return time. Keep it concrete. Remember the goal, self while in connection. Not performative stoicism, not anxious pursuit, not righteous distance. Two adults, each anchored, willing to be impacted but not erased. When you practice N3C inside a weekly rhythm and guard against the red flags, you compress learning curves that used to take years into months. The demon keeps you honest. The angel keeps you steady. Reps build trust. Trust builds possibility. There's one pattern that ends the runner-chaser loop for good. Once you see it and practice it, pressure drops, timing stabilizes, and intimacy rises. Let's lay it out next. Here's the pattern that ends the push-pull. Switch from pursuit or retreat to reveal and receive. That's it. This is the paradox fully expressed. The demon's demand for truth, reveal, meets the angel's capacity for safety, receive. Pursuit tries to control closeness. Retreat tries to control distance. Reveal restores truth. Receive restores safety. Let's define the cycle cleanly. Protest behavior versus withdrawal. Protest looks like rapid-fire texts, accusations, analysis, bids framed as traps. Withdrawal looks like silence, delays, deflection, busyness, disappearing into "I need space" with no return path. Both are protecting the same fear. If I show you my true need and you don't meet it, I won't survive the shame. So we hide the need and act out the strategy. Everything changes when you reveal the need before the strategy runs the show. Use this script. A part of me fears X. It wants Y. I'm willing to Z. Short, plain, specific. For example, a part of me fears I don't matter. It wants reassurance. I'm willing to ask directly and accept your honest bandwidth. Or, a part of me fears being swallowed. It wants space with a return time. I'm willing to tell you the time I'll be back. That's the demon speaking. Clear, direct, no performance. Now the other half. Receive. Receiving is the angel's work, and it's a practice, not a personality. 4 steps. Reflect what you heard in your own words. What I hear is a part of you fears not mattering and wants a clear check-in. Regulate together. 1 slow breath in, longer breath out. Request time if you're flooded. I need 20 minutes to settle and respond well. Confirm the next contact explicitly. I'll text at 7:40 with either reassurance or a plan. This protects both hearts. Boundary clarity keeps the system honest. A loving no sounds like, I care about this and I won't discuss it while I'm triggered. I'll return at 8 p.m. That's the angel holding the container. Punitive distance says, you're too much. Don't talk to me. That's the demon without the angel. Heat without ground. Run a quick example. The chaser feels panic and wants to send 5 messages. Reveal instead. A part of me is scared. It wants to feel you're here. I'm willing to ask for a short voice note when you can. The runner feels cornered and wants to disappear. Reveal instead. A part of me is overwhelmed. It wants 30 minutes to reset. I'm willing to set a timer and be back. Pressure drops. Timing stabilizes. Intimacy rises because each person is choosing contact with truth rather than control with tactics. Practice this for 2 weeks. Every time you feel the old impulse, pause and run, reveal, receive. The loop can't survive transparency. When need is spoken and time is honored, the nervous system learns return. That's the pattern that breaks the cycle. That's the demon and the angel finally working as one. Here's the takeaway. Your soulmate isn't here to complete you. They're here to reveal you so you can finally meet yourself, whole, honest, and steady. The demon is the angel. The pressure that won't let you hide is the love that won't let you stay small. When you stop fighting the paradox and start practicing it, everything shifts. Run the N3C protocol this week and schedule 1 mirror meeting. Try reveal, receive the next time tension spikes. Subscribe if this helped, and tap the next video to dissolve spiritual ego patterns so integration doesn't stall. Your next conversation can rewrite the whole pattern.